Hello mates, Wolf here. I'm doing a follow-up video of my previous one about The Witcher 4. We sort of break down the trailer and now we are going to react to some of the directors of The Witcher 4 doing it for us. Now, I have watched the trailer already, so here I'm going to pause a lot and talk about it. So if you wish to watch it for yourself, I'm going to leave a link to it in the description of the video. And as I'm talking, I'll also probably use some footage of The Witcher 3 that is not my own. I'm going to credit the person that I'm using the footage from. So make sure to check it also in the description of the video. And with that said, let us go.
Hello everyone, my name is Sebastian Kalemba and I'm the game director of The Witcher 4, our new game. And this is our official breakdown
Very
for
cool
the very
jacket.
first cinematic trailer of the game. So let's dive right into the trailer. The first sequence sets up the stage.
Dearest daughter, I've watched ye grow from a devilishly curious child.
We have two characters. They are preparing for something. One character
They are preparing for sacrifice.
is preparing for some kind of a ritual, tradition, clearly a celebration. But the second character is purely preparing for the battle, for the encounter.
Very interesting that he calls it a celebration rather than sacrifice. Maybe because of the clothes that they are addressing the woman with.
Two different characters, preparation, but a different set of tools. It looks like a wedding, maybe, but as you see, it's not festive at all, right? People are not laughing, people are not happy.
Everyone is gathered so they can pretty much say goodbye to her, send her directly to the monster.
This is Stromford. This village is totally isolated place up north. And, you know, the world of The Witcher is full of folk, full of grim, the darkness, monsters. The way they deal with monsters for ages is sacrificing their people.
The way that the common folk did things, especially I can't remember exactly on the Witcher 1 if we have an instance for that, but in the Witcher 3, of course, I remember a quest where some people sacrificed their young men to a lesson as a rite of passage. For the men to prove that they have come to manhood, they had to challenge a lesson. And if you have played a little bit of Witcher 3, you would know that the lessons are very powerful and dangerous monsters. So yeah, I good.
Here we reveal this young girl. Her name is Mioni. She tends to be sacrificed by her father, by the villagers. That's why this moment is so emotional. These people are kinda saying goodbye to someone that they know from that young. Okay, so now these characters join. Their paths are going to cross in a second. You have two swords on her back, the silver for monsters and the steel for humans. You have idea for sure that this is a Witcher.
A witcher?
Witcher, whose coin did ye take? Nay, you can't. 'Tis tradition. Chosen she is, by the gods.
No! You chose her.
Okay, you have no idea how long we've been waiting for this moment. I mean, the entire team that invests so much passion into this project in recent years.
A lot of people actually say that, oh my god, they sidelined Geralt for Ciri, how could they? If you have been a fan of the games as I have, you would pretty much know the next game would have featured Ciri anyway. They pretty much laid the foundation for it at the very end of the Blood and Wine expansion for The Witcher 3. I wasn't 100% sure that it would be Ciri. There was a possibility that they could have introduced another Witcher, but I was 80% sure that they are going to continue the series with Ciri, and that is not the problem. The problem is not that the Ciri is the main protagonist. The problem is that, in my opinion, I think you have read the title of the video, they are heavily breaking canon, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's continue.
We've been waiting for years to be able to finally show Ciri as the main protagonist of the game. Ciri is one of these characters that, you know, the sentence that if there is less evil, lesser evil, I'd rather to not choose at all. Ciri will always choose. When it comes to the happiness, the moments that she was really happy about her life, it was in Kaer Morhen, among the other Witchers. For good and for bad, she wants to become a Witcher. In the world,
I am not sure if I agree fully. Yes, she always liked the life of the Witcher and the sword fighting and the hunting, the monster hunting. But for her to become a Witcher, that is something entirely different. And I don't really agree with that point. Also, in the trailer, she doesn't look happy to me. She did look happy at the Kaer Morhen, that's true. And she did look happy when they reunited with Geralt in the third game, and she saw some of her friends. But here in the trailer, no.
word become, there is a journey, and I want people to experience this journey. As soon as we entered the woods, we decided to change the cinematography of this part. That in that moment, we wanted to make it more magical, more atmospheric. We wanted to make you sense, smell the evil that is living in this cave. And maybe you can question why Ciri was actually waiting for this moment. She is a professional monster hunter, and she
Okay. I disagree again. Ciri has been trained by Vesemir and by Geralt, but I would not call her a professional monster hunter because she's still very young. And for example, Geralt have a lot of experience. I think he's. You can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Isn't he almost 200 years old? And Vesemir, before he, spoilers, before he died, he was almost 300 years old. So that's a lot of experience, that's a lot of years. So Ciri is still pretty young, and also she's not a witcher. Or is she? But I'm getting ahead of myself.
knows that using Mioni in that case was actually her advantage. She was by pushing Mioni into the woods and letting her sing the song that calls the evil. She's also at the same time luring the evil.
Now. Nay!
So there's this moment when she stops exactly when she knows that the evil woke up. That's the moment when Ciri pushes Mioni back to the village.
Run!
As soon as the fog appears, Ciri knows that there's point of no return. Ciri enters the heart of darkness. She hears these noises, the voices, some kind of a hallucinations.
I actually tried to isolate the voices, but I couldn't hear much, sadly.
She's a bit puzzled, yeah? You see, like, she's not able to spot the monster. This is the way how this creature fights. It tries to play with your fears.
The monster was very cool.
There's the moment of the opportunity that Ciri drinks a potion.
This is her first mistake or second mistake. If she was experienced, she would have drank the potion before she enters the lair. Or at least that is what Geralt would have done. Because Geralt is smart and experienced.
This potion, it's not a regular potion. It's a poison witchers are capable to prepare.
And here is the breaking of the canon. Now, in the first video, I suggested that maybe this is some elixir that is specifically for mages because Ciri, although a source and not very well trained in magic, is still a mage. But here, my guy is pretty much confirmed that Ciri is an actual witcher, which means she undergone the trial of the grasses, and this they are breaking canon hard. The reason that Ciri cannot possibly be a full witcher is because if you have read the books, if you have played the games, you would know that only boys can become a witcher. Now, I've read somewhere that 3 out of 10 boys survive the ritual, and not all of them go through all of the stages. Even if we suggest that, yes, she has elder blood, she's stronger somehow, she's already grown up. If they decide to make her a witcher or something like that, at least make it so, yes, she has some of the powers, but she's not a full witcher. If you make her a full witcher, that pretty much makes the other witchers not that special. For example, Garrett is a few levels above the other witches because, to my knowledge, he actually made it to the last trial of the grasses, which gave him his white hair, and that's why he's so special. Maybe he's a little bit faster than the other witchers, but making her a full witcher is wrong, by my opinion.
He's becoming deadly focused here. There's no voices again,
She probably drank cat potion.
and no fears. And this is the moment when she spots him, and this is the moment when the real duel starts.
Also, guys, I have a genuine question. Why would Cyrilla want to become a witcher? She's already a powerful source. She is a mage. She is above the power level of any witcher I can think of. I will insert some of the fighting sequences with Cyrilla in the very beginning of the game and at the end of the Witcher 3, at the end of the campaign, so you can see the power level that she had there. She had the power to blink. She had the amazing speed. She had a pretty good fighting skills, and I'm pretty sure she was still capable of casting some pretty good spells by her own. And the fact that she would want to undergo the mutations, I just don't feel the need for it. If you have read the books, there is a story about Garrett and a guy named Astrid, and they were pretty much fighting for Yennefer's hand. Astrid was a mage, Geralt is a witcher, so after a while they decided to pretty much duel for her. And because Astrid, the mage, knew that he would probably kill Geralt very easily because he was a very skillful mage, he decided that he was going to fight him with a sword. And that would pretty much mean for Astrid that he was going to die. So it is very hard for a witcher to kill an actual strong mage. Even if the mage is not that strong, even if it's a source like Ciri, not a fully trained mage, she's still more powerful than a witcher. And I just don't see the need for her to actually become a witcher unless something happens and some powerful monster that is pretty much immune to all spells, and the only way you kill it is with silver sword or something like that. But again, I'm getting ahead of myself.
Finally, we are revealing Bauk, the monster. Very powerful.
Okay, The monster is very cool. In my first video, I suggested it's something like a Kikimor, but apparently some other type of monster that we haven't seen before.
Creature in this world. And as you see, also we are showcasing something special about Ciri.
Yes,
Ciri is a powerful source. She can drain the energy out of the elements in this world and catalyze it into the very powerful spell.
indeed. If she can do that, why does she need to be an actual witcher? She doesn't. She can just draw the power of the elements, cast fire spells, cast any type of spells she wants, pretty much. She has received training from Yennefer, so she knows how to do that. So far, I have read 4 full books. I'm at the book 5. She, at one point, even dabbled with fire, which is the most uncontrolling and dangerous, and that's because she's connected to Falca and because of her elder blood. But she's powerful, guys. She does not need to be a witcher. She can just cast a few spells at this monster and the monster would be dead.
And that way, she built another opportunity window. To be able to chop his limbs, and finally uses one of his utility tools, Chain, we're presenting here. And we are also referring to the very first trailer that we showcased years ago, The Witcher 1, Geralt fighting with Striga.
Yes, I pointed that out in my video too. This is pretty much paying homage to the first game, and I immediately spotted it. And it's a very cool touch, I have to give them that.
Here we have the chain. More than that, Ciri is able to chant this chain, and that's why there's this fire spell on top of it, which makes this chain even stronger. And this is another tough lesson in this grim world. Ciri wasn't able to save Mioni.
Yes.
Because some people are incapable of change. Bauk won because they let themselves being still driven by the fear. She knows
People were superstitious, man. In this universe, in this world, the common folk have traditions, and when you don't honor them,
for sure that they'll get this at some point because the fog will never get back. They will probably remember her, the silver-haired girl who saved them. And there's going to be a moment of change, but the time needs to come.
It's all we wanted. For her to go to the woods, to go to the gods.
Gods?
how are they going to change if she kills them all? Because it's implied that she does kill them, or at least that guy.
There are no gods here. There are only monsters.
This world is dark, it's
It
grim,
is dark.
but there is a light. There is this warmth, there is this hope in the end. In this case, Mioni got killed by her people. But as you know, our games, there are choices and consequences.
Indeed.
There's going to be a way to save her. And this is the hope that the Witcher world brings also. That actually gives you this contrast between grim and hope. And this is what I love in this world.
Now I'm going to give you some of my theories, some of my fears, and yeah, so let's go. I have watched or read somewhere that at the beginning of the next game of The Witcher 4, Cyrilla would not go through the trial yet. Maybe at the next half of the game. So in the beginning she will be normal, as she's at the end of The Witcher 3. and something will prompt her to do it. Also, it is pretty much confirmed that the medallion she wears is of a different school, the school of the Lynx. And I'm pretty sure that this school is made up by the game, the developers, as is the school of the bear in The Witcher 3. I'm not sure about the school of the cat. I think the school of the cat is from the books. And one of my viewers, Thundermere, I think was his name, he suggested that she took this medallion from Leo Bonhart, but I checked. And in fact, here is the wiki. And if you decide to read this, it's going to spoil some of the books. But basically, Leo was a bounty hunter that reportedly have killed three witchers, one witcher from the school of the cat, one witcher from the school of the wolf, and one witcher from the school of the griffin. He was not a witcher, but he was apparently very skillful bounty hunter. I tried to find some information about him, more information, and confirm maybe that he was a witcher or not, but I couldn't find anything. I'm going to leave a link to this wiki so you can read it for yourselves. But yes, that medallion is not his, and it's some new school. And I have a couple of theories. So first of all, what would be the reason for Siri? It has to be some very powerful reason for her to decide to undergo the trial. And one of my first theories is maybe something happens to Geralt. He dies, or maybe she thinks he's dead, and she just decides to do it in order to avenge him, which would be very bad way to continue her story. I think it would be very wrong. The other thing I was thinking about is they are potentially going to introduce this school as a Witcher school made only of women, and if they do that, I'm going to lose my mind. Mark this video 4 or 5 years after that. They say that the game would take maybe 3 to 4 years to make. So mark this video, and after 3 to 4 years, I'm probably going to have to come back to it and refer it, but I have a strong suspicion that they are going to do some shenanigans and introduce that very special school that is made only of women and no one knew about it, and something like that. And I hope that if they introduce Geralt, they are going to introduce him as a mentor, will help Cyrilla along the way with her quest. But even then, Geralt, I think, would be pissed of her when he learns that she has actually become a witcher herself. And I'm not sure if you guys know about this, but in this universe, if you want power, you pretty much need to sacrifice something that is most precious to you. For example, most of the mages, not all, but most of the mages in the Witcher universe, after they acquired their powers, they can no longer have children. That's why Yennefer is kind of fixated on finding a way to have children. That's why she was hunting for the genie, which led her meeting Geralt. And that goes for the witches as well. After they undergo with the trial and with the mutations, there's a drawback. Yes, they age slowly and they're faster and they're stronger, but they also become sterile. So why would Geralt want this for Syria? I don't see it. And you might say, oh, but she's a lesbian. She doesn't care. She doesn't want children. And all of that stuff. Maybe, but maybe not. Currently, as I'm reading the books, yes, she is with another girl, and yes, she is indeed a lesbian, but also, if you have played Witcher 3, there's a really sweet scene with one guy. I think his name was Kjell from a small village, and they had a sweet moment and they had a kiss. So, in my opinion, even though she prefers women, men are also not out of the question. It's not outrageous. I just don't see it. I just don't think Geralt would want this for her. And Vesemir would have been pissed at her. Lambert, as you know, Lambert was very opposed to the trial. If you have played The Witcher 3, there's a sequence where you have to free a certain mage and you have to perform a version of the trial, and Lambert was so pissy about it. So I don't see it, man. I don't see it. I think they are making it so they are going to portray Cyrilla some angry lesbian that needs no man and all other men are incompetent. It's all DI stuff. DI stuff that I don't think have place in my Witcher, man. They have ruined the movies. They have ruined the show. They have ruined one of my favorite franchises, movie franchises. And now I think they're going to ruin my favorite game. But I also think that it's too early to tell. I still have hopes. One of my biggest fears is actually City Project Red committing a Naughty Dog. And by this I mean, if you guys are familiar with a series known as The Last of Us, I have played the first game, by the way, you can check it out. So they're basically a little bit before the second game was going to be released. They released a couple of trailers that, to summarize it, implied that you were going to hunt down the people that wronged you, you and your community, alongside Joe. You would play Ellie, and Joe will accompany you, killing and butchering everyone that have wronged you. But apparently, after a couple of hours, I think 2 or 3 hours, in the very beginning of the game, spoilers again, Joe was killed, and then Ellie went on a killing spree. But basically, what Naughty Dog did is that they edited a couple of trailers deceiving people, and after you almost completed the game, the actual cutscene was revealed where the person that was talking to Ellie was actually other character. I think his name was Jesse or something. So what could happen, and this is really the worst theory I have, is that Geralt is about to appear truly. Maybe they'll have some journey with Siri or something, and he's going to get killed by some monster, very powerful monster. Siri won't be able to help or to kill it, and then she'll stumble upon some lost Witcher school comprised only of strong women, and they will offer her to turn her into a witcher, and she then will go on a killing spree trying to find that monster. Maybe the monster would be the bug that we saw. Something like that. I really hope this doesn't happen, but yeah, we'll see. And the last thing I'm going to mention is a viewer of mine also mentioned that Hrem, one of my viewers, let me know that indeed the new actress, in quotation, is actually a transgender actress, and that's pretty much sums it for me. I'll leave a link to her IMDb page if you are interested, but to me, this sounds like a DA hire. CD Projekt Red had a lot of problems during the cyberpunk controversy. They lost a lot of trust, and a lot of money. And I think this spelled the downfall for them, and maybe they didn't have a choice, they needed money. And that's why they started to hire these guys. A lot of the OGs of the old CD Projekt Red also left. They have since opened their own studios. Guys, I'm worried. With that hire, I'm even more worried, and much to my dismay, I would like to end up the video with the conclusion that maybe The Witcher has indeed gone woke. We still have time, maybe they will change it, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. This is not a format that I'm usually doing, usually covering gaming news, but Witcher is my favorite franchise, and this topic is very close to me, so I'm going to keep an eye on it, and if there is something new about it, some new information, I'm going to make sure to convey it to you. Appreciate if you guys share some info in the comments. Let me know what you think, and I would love to have a discussion with you. Of course, try to keep it civil. And with that said, guys, like the video if you like the content. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you're hungry for more videos like this, one of my previous playthroughs, which on screen right now, I'm doing walkthroughs of games, PlayStation games, PC games, and some old school games. So if this is something that interests you, definitely again consider becoming a subscriber. With that said, I was Wolf, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care and bye for now.